Look, guys.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we're going to be talking about secure productivity within the Microsoft 365 environment, and we're also going to be touching on the powers of AI with Copilot. My name's Tim Ratcliffe. I'm one of the account managers here, and I'll be hosting the session, but we're joined by Joe Dealey. Some of you may have come across. He's our head of cloud services, and he'll be taking us through everything in a bit more detail with a couple of little demonstrations as we go through. Main focus of today's session, obviously in a changing, ever more connected world, there are more threats out there, people on the road, people with multiple devices everywhere. So we're going to talk to you about how to make sure that that is a secure process. And as I say, as we go through, we'll also be talking to you about the powers of artificial intelligence in the form of Copilot. At this point, I'd like to pass over to Joe, and he'll kick off for us.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today on secure productivity with Microsoft 365 and AI Copilot. When I talk about Microsoft 365 today, it would be with a focus on the Microsoft 365 Business Premium Suite. This has been specifically aimed at organizations up to 300 users. However, I did notice quite a number of people from some larger charities accepted the invite for today. So typically we see the larger charities with Microsoft 365 E5 licenses. So you'll have a few more bells and whistles. We'll discuss the tools available in Microsoft 365 that enable secure productivity, some simple steps to prepare for AI, and finally a demo to show Copilot for Microsoft 365. So you've probably come across the terms modern workplace and secure productivity, particularly if you've been exposed to Microsoft communications and marketing material. Essentially, the modern workplace is users working from any location with any device. So with secure productivity, providing them with the tools to be productive and collaborative, while also maintaining the security and integrity of systems and data. So building this foundation of secure productivity is an important step in getting ready for AI. The modern workplace brings its own business challenges. Historically, we had users based in an office with a perimeter security network, which would protect our IT resources with firewalls, intrusion detection systems, remote access systems, etc. Now, post-pandemic, with so many users who are no longer office-based and the data could be hosted anywhere. So security is just one element of this. You know, how do we help remote staff feel included and not isolated while ensuring they can be collaborate with their colleagues and be productive? So with Microsoft 365 Business Premium, you can safely run your business from anywhere. You can set up what's called a zero trust foundation to keep data safe and defend against advanced cyber threat. So zero trust operates on the principle of never trust, always verify. It's a strategic approach to cybersecurity that assumes breaches can occur, and therefore every request for access to resources is verified explicitly, regardless of where the request comes from or what resource it accesses. Simplify end-user device management while unleashing intelligent productivity, so getting ready for a new way of working with AI. Microsoft 365 Business Premium provides a zero trust foundation for security, defend against cyber threats, and safeguarding business data. The Zero Trust is foundational to great security, and we have several tools included in Microsoft 365 Business Premium, such as Microsoft Defender, Intune, Purview Information Protection, and Azure AD Premium 1, or Entra ID P1 as it's now called, which all help us secure and manage identities, defend against threats on multi-platforms, and protect sensitive information across our data estate. With multi-factor authentication, we can keep data safe from unauthorized access when passwords are lost or stolen, defend against cyber threats with enterprise-grade protection against phishing, ransomware, and data loss. Hybrid work, or working from anywhere, starts with securing and managing identity and access, providing users with secure access to work apps, and protecting against lost or stolen passwords. So what can we do to secure and manage identities? So we can enhance security by controlling where, when, and who connects to Office apps with conditional access. So conditional access takes signals from various sources into account when making access decisions. So we can allow or block access to resources based on these signals and ensure multi-factor authentication, for example, is required for any access. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is a great way to secure your organization. But users sometimes get frustrated with the extra security layer on top of having to remember their passwords. So passwordless authentication method can be more convenient because the password's removed and replaced with something you have or something you are or no. But typically a Windows device and biometric or a PIN. Microsoft Entra self-service password reset gives users the ability to change or reset their password with no administrator or help desk involvement. So if an Entra ID locks a user account or they forget their password, they can just follow prompts to unblock themselves and get back to work. So this ability reduces help desk calls and loss of productivity when a user can't sign into the device or an application. Continuous access evaluation is essentially, it's a conversation between Microsoft Entra and the relying app to allow it to stop inspect or respecting an access token as conditions have changed. So this allows for remediation for potential compromise in real time. So providing secure access to work apps. Entra ID P1 is included in Microsoft 365 Business Premium. And part of that is we can get Microsoft Entra Application Proxy, which provides secure remote access to on-premise web applications. So after a single sign-on to Microsoft Entra ID, users can access both cloud and on-premise applications through an external URL or an internal application portal. On-premise applications can use Azure's authorization controls and security analytics. So for example, our on-premise applications could use conditional access and two-step verification. And the beauty about the application proxy is it doesn't require you to open inbound connections through your firewall. So protect against lost or stolen passwords with multi-factor authentication. Microsoft Entra MFA works by requiring 2 or more authentication methods. Something you know, which is typically a password, something you have, such as a trusted device that's not easily duplicated, like a phone or hardware key. And then there's something you are, which is biometrics, like a fingerprint or face scan. So when users sign into an application or service and receive an MFA prompt, they can choose from one of their registered forms of additional verifications. And we have several of them listed in this diagram there. MFA prevents 99.9% of identity attacks. So it's the single most important thing you can do to protect against lost or stolen passwords. So defend against cyber threats and safeguard business data. We have tools in Microsoft 365 Business Premium to protect users against cyber threats like phishing, safeguard business data, and defend against threats. So let's just look at some of these. So Microsoft Defender for Office 365, which comes part of Defender for Business, which is in Microsoft 365 Business Premium. It provides real-time protection against advanced threats. So we have safe link scanning, which protects your organization from malicious links that are used in phishing and other attacks. There's safe link scanning occurs in addition to regular anti-spam and anti-malware protection. There's safe attachments in Defender for Office 365, which provides an additional layer of protection for email attachments that have already been scanned by Anti-Malware Protect in Exchange Online. Exchange Online protection contains anti-phishing protection, but Defender for Office 365 contains advanced features, including protection against impersonation and spoofing. And Defender for Business is included with Microsoft 365 Business Premium, provides better protection on Windows devices against suspicious processes like ransomware. For those that do have Microsoft 365 E5, there is additional features where you can run tests against staff for phishing. So you can simulate, phishing attacks, and you can get reports, see who's clicking on those links. And also you can send out tailored training for them. So that's a really, really good feature to have. And everybody should be using it that does have E5 licenses. Data loss prevention, or DLP, in Microsoft Purview can help prevent unauthorized access, sharing, or leaking of sensitive information. So it allows you to identify and classify sensitive data and apply policies that control what users can do with that sensitive data. It also contains some pre-configured DLP policy templates, so making your life easier then to configure. You can set policies to control whether an email can be forwarded, printed, or viewed by non-employees. You can add watermarks to documents, you can prevent editing, can prevent copy, paste, wide range of controls available to you there for DLP. With Zero Trust Foundation, you can defend against threats on multi-platform, so it's not just Windows. Help reduce risks with automatic threat detection and remediation. You can assess your security posture, isolate threats, and proactively block malware, all from a central portal. You can keep your devices up to date with software updates and security patches. You can enable conditional access on devices. So, for example, you could enable MFA or devices must be compliant for access to Microsoft 365 apps and data. So really, really useful to be able to control what and when you can access your apps. So Defender for Business is part, as I mentioned, of 365 Business Premium. It increases protection against sophisticated ransomware attacks with next generation antivirus, endpoint detection and response. So it works on all key platforms, including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. And so Defender for Business offers a streamlined experiences that guide you to action with recommendations and insight to the security of those endpoints. So keeping data more secure across devices and locations. So we discussed enforcing strong authentication, ensuring employees use MFA and strong password or passwordless with Windows Hello for Business. We can assign conditional access policies to restrict access to data based on device and user role or any of the signals we discussed earlier, such as a location. Attack surface reduction capabilities existing in Defender for Business allow us to minimize cyber threat entry points. So it includes ransomware mitigation, application control, web protection, network firewall, and attack surface reduction rules. So really, really comprehensive it is. You can enable audit mode when testing how the features work in order to minimize the impact to users, and allows you to configure settings suitable for your organization. You also get an idea of how many suspicious file modification attempts occur over a certain period of time. So traditional security or antivirus solutions, they aren't sufficient to stop sophisticated cyber attacks. You need artificial intelligence and device learning backed capabilities, such as behavioral blocking and containment, included in Defender for Endpoint. Behavioral blocking and containment capabilities can help identify and stop threats based on the behaviors and process trees when the threat has started execution. So protect sensitive data across your data estate. Purview information protection allows you to discover and protect your data. It helps to identify sensitive data, and you can apply sensitivity labels to data. These can apply flexible protection actions that include encryption, access restrictions, and visual markings to information. This BitBlocker provides encryption for laptops or addressing the threat of lost, stolen, or decommissioned devices. E-discovery is the process of identifying and delivering electronic information that can be used as evidence in legal cases. So you can use e-discovery tools in Purview to search for content in Exchange Online, OneDrive for Business, SharePoint Online, Teams, Microsoft 365 groups. So right across the estate. eCover Premium provides an end-to-end workflow to identify, preserve, collect, review, analyze, and export content that's responsive to your organization's internal and external investigation. Lets teams manage custodians and legal hold notification workflow to communicate with custodians involved in the case. I think that premium isn't in eDiscover Premium. I think that's in the E5 license. So simplifying endpoint management and controlling remote desktop access to work data. We can easily enable remote desktop access for employees on any device. So we can use Azure Virtual Desktop for that. So it allows us to maintain central management and security of the user's desktop. We can use conditional access to control which devices and users can access work data, with options to block users access from home computers, unapproved apps, location, or even outside of work hours. With centralized endpoint management, we can keep people, data, and devices protected. We can reduce disruptions with IT features and experiences to help keep staff focused and productive. We can upgrade to Windows 11 with confidence with over 99% application compatibility. And we can embrace inclusivity with enhanced accessibility. So I think Narrator is a Windows screen reader app that reads content of dialog boxes, such as options and buttons, as well as other user interface strings and text on your screen. So endpoint management. Secure and manage the end user devices that access company data. So that includes managing data on the mobile devices and securing Windows devices. We can use Autopilot to automate the deployment of new devices to users. So this allows us to ship devices straight from hardware vendor and only requiring minimal end user interaction to complete the device setup. Really useful this when you have users working from home. We use it ourselves now, where we just send devices straight from Dell or whoever or Microsoft to end user houses, and all they need to do is log up and it completes all the setup. So everything's pre-configured. We can centrally manage and protect both company-owned and bring your own devices using a single solution like Intune. So we provides us with visibility and with recommendations and data. So we can set default security policies that comply with zero trust requirements and auto-update Windows and Microsoft 365. We can build endpoint compliance with modern servicing of all of our Windows devices. And we can set the risk-based conditional access and app-based condition policies. So administrators can configure sign-in risk-based conditional access policies to enforce access controls based on a sign-in risk, and including requirements such as block access, allow access, or require multi-factor authentication based on these risks. So this is just an example of how a mobile application management or a MAM policy might secure your work data. In this case, the user has both company managed apps and personal apps on this device. So the user opens an email with an Excel spreadsheet and Word document and tries, but is unable to copy and paste or save either attachment into personal apps. They can only save the attachment onto OneDrive for Business as it's a managed app. So you'll see it there in the diagram. Probably explains it better than I do. So unleashing intelligent productivity with advanced AI tools. So these tools should boost our creativity, increase our productivity, and enhance our skills. So here's a list of some of the productivity apps available in Microsoft 365 Business Premium. If you have multiple vendors, you could save money by consolidating into a single platform. So a single Microsoft platform can give you the foundation for the next generation of AI. As mentioned, Microsoft 365 Copilot will transform the way you work with Microsoft 365, increasing the skills, creativity, and productivity. So unleash intelligent productivity. We have tools in Microsoft 365 to collaborate with co-workers, customers, and partners. With real-time teamwork, online meetings anywhere, and external collaboration. So Teams is not just a video conferencing tool. It's the tool of choice for collaboration, allowing you to access and share your files in a single workspace across desktop, web, and mobile devices. We can co-author files with colleagues and stay in sync through one-to-one chat and conversations around work streams or projects. We can host and schedule meetings from anywhere with screen sharing and collaborative note-taking as part of online meeting. We can record and transcribe meetings and calls for easy sharing and playback. We can get high-quality audio and video with enterprise security and compliance. So it's not just collaboration with our colleagues. We can also allow secure guest access for external collaboration, granting access to Teams and channels. We can schedule meetings with anyone who has a valid email address. They don't need to even have Teams themselves. And we can have a cloud-based phone system in Teams to make and receive calls. In summary, foundational productivity starts with Microsoft 365, a solution that stretches across all the different elements required in the modern world of work that are essential to leveraging Copilot from Microsoft 365. So Zero Trust ensures that every access point to your network and data is rigorously authenticated and protected, reducing the risk of security breaches. Robust endpoint management allows for seamless device control, maintenance, and security enforcement, creating a stable work environment. And productivity and collaboration tools designed to work together to help customers be more effective and efficient. Through this comprehensive solution, all these capabilities with a stack of products under each are designed to work to minimize operations, cost, and complexity. So we believe Zero Trust and simplified endpoint management are requirements for a great productivity and collaboration experience. Which brings me on to Copilot from Microsoft 365, your AI assistant at work. Some of you may have seen this slide already. It's the time taken to reach 100 million users per chat GPT. So we can see that the growth curve is no longer a gentle slope, it's a vertical line. When I looked at mobile phones, it took 16 years to reach 100 million users. Internet 7, Facebook 4.5, and chat GPT only 3 months. So Microsoft 365, combines the power of large language models with your data in Microsoft Graph, including your calendar, email, chats, document, meetings, and more, and the Microsoft 365 apps to turn your words into a powerful productivity tool. So Copilot leverages off Chat GPT. So the AI-powered organization will build on that foundational productivity with Copilot from Microsoft 365. So becoming an AI-powered business begins with taking 3 key steps. So we need to empower employees with secure AI-powered tools like Microsoft Copilot. So the secure AI-powered web chat, formerly Bing Chat Enterprise, with commercial data protection. So learning how to use Copilot in the workplace today is an important way to get started with AI securely. The skill development around using AI in the workplace will be critical for users to quickly adapt and adopt Copilot for Microsoft 365. So try to standardize onto Microsoft 365 platform. Customers will move their data to the who move their data to the cloud. Microsoft Cloud will be better positioned to harness AI's potential. And an important step is organize and protect sensitive business data by ensuring users have the correct access rights. And you can look to use Purview also to classify and label that data. So there are multiple Copilot products today, some of which are specifically tailored for Dynamics 365, which I won't cover today. So I'm going to try and limit it to Microsoft 365 and Edge. However, I will mention that you can get Copilot free. So there's a Copilot mobile app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store, which allows you to interact with Copilot on the go. It offers conversational search, image creation, and text generation. There's the web version of Copilot, so that's copilot.microsoft.com is the URL, which allows you to interact with the Copilot generative AI assistant. With a free tool, you can search for information, ask questions, and customize output with different conversational styles. And then there's Copilot for Edge. It's the version of Copilot built into the Edge web browser. So you'll need the latest version of the browser to use the service, which is free to everyone. The web browser solution is powered by GPT-4 and designed to help you improve your online search experience. So for our demo, we'll be looking at Copilot from Microsoft 365. And I'm going to use some simulations rather than a live demo as I can show you more in the time allowed. And also, I don't need to worry about the data that's in use. So Copilot from Microsoft 365, it frees your mind from repetitive tasks. So you can just spend more time focused on what matters most, like running your day-to-day business, growing your customers, building your brand, whatever, line of business you're in. So just second, it works alongside you, embedded in the apps that millions of us use every day. So what does it bring to Microsoft apps? So if we look at Microsoft Word, Copilot can write content, it can edit pre-written pieces and summarize important statements using artificial intelligence. In PowerPoint, it can try and automatically transform simple ideas into step-by-step presentation with speaker notes and citations. In Excel, users can leverage it to access new insights from data, spot patterns, create more effective spreadsheets. For users of Teams, Copilot can create real-time summaries and display action items or follow conversations, all while considering the context of a conversation. Teams Phone, if you were using it for that, it can generate summaries of phone conversations and capture action items. It can highlight critical points in calls and recommend next best action steps and more. Outlook, Copilot can assist with organizing and consolidating Outlook inboxes. The solution can help suggest email responses and even provide summaries. For those who use Power Platform, it can assist developers with varying skills to prototype and develop low-code applications. And here's a slide just showing some of those things it can do for us. And I was going to unshare my screen for a couple of minutes now while I get this demo ready. I may not need to do that, but what I would say in this demo, we will be Lee, who runs the Adventure Work Bike Company. So if you just give me a minute, I'll try and get this demo ready. So hopefully everybody can see that. So what I'm going to do then here is I'm going to open Teams, or Lee is going to open Teams and join a meeting. So here's the meeting for Lee, and we'll select join and join now. Okay, so Lee uses Copilot in meetings or calls within his tenant to summarize conversations and answer questions. So Copilot knows he's joined a bit late on this meeting and immediately offers to recap the meeting so Lee knows what he's missed so far. So what I'll do is I'll open Copilot here. So Lee can use the meeting transcript in real time to complete the response. In a few moments, Lee has the key topics and is up to speed with the meeting. Copilot will only answer questions documented in the meeting conversation transcript. So Copilot pulls in the name of the user typing the question, so Lee knows who to contact if he has further questions or concerns. And Lee can type any question or use predetermined prompts such as follow-up questions. So we'll select this suggest follow-up questions. So Copilot suggest questions Lee should ask to ensure the team covers everything. Lee can also copy any responses and paste into any other deliverables. The intelligent assistant doesn't end when the meeting ends. Lee has access to Copilot through chat also. So I'm going to leave this and we'll go into the chat. So after the meeting, Lee goes into chat to use recap. And at the top, we're going to select this recap tab. So Lee now has access to the AI notes, the transcript, and places in the transcript where he is at mentioned. So all of this is captured by Copilot. So we'll just under this, we'll select these meeting notes. So he can not only review meeting notes, but also all the places he was at mentioned. So he can easily find the action items. So if we select the at mentioned, you can see there where he was mentioned. As Lee has access to the complete meeting transcript, even from before he joined the meeting. So if we select transcript button. Okay. So it includes all the content as well that he missed at the beginning of the meeting. So we can go up and down through the transcript there. So he can review what he missed and then use Copilot to ask more questions about the content. So Lee can see an interaction history from the meeting, including Copilot prompts and decisions made. So what we'll do is we'll get down to the Copilot text box. I say what decisions were made. Select send. So Copilot should generate the decision list, but Lee doesn't stop there and wants to get an action list as well. So what we'll do on the bottom right, we'll select the action list. So Copilot went through the transcript and in moments gathered a list of actions for Lee. So he now knows he needs to brainstorm on whiteboard on possible solutions with Miriam, which we'll see there. So I'm just going to exit that demo. And we're going to go into try Outlook now. That across. Okay, so Lee's going to open Outlook from the taskbar, and first email, I think, is from his tax advisor, and he doesn't have time to review it at the moment, but he still wants to respond to it immediately. So let's just open that then. So Lee, when Lee's going to reply to this message, he's a set of options. So in seconds, he has a crafted message, save them time and keep them more productive. So let's click reply. And Lee's just going to apologize and confirm the review of this. So Lee can go through it and see, okay, is he happy with this? Yes, okay, let's select keep it, and we'll send the email. And that's going on. So the next message Lee reviews is about a recall on the D2250 derailleur bike part. So look for it here. That's it there. Okay. So this is quite a long email. So rather than trying to read through the whole lot, Lee is just going to try and get a summary by Copilot. So he now has a summary of the email with the names of the people and the citations to the points in the original email. So Copilot enables Lee to address and clear his mailbox in minutes as opposed to hours by summarizing long messages and generating action items and replies. So it enables him to stay productive. So in the summary by Copilot pane, we're going to select the footnote 3. And that brings us to that part of that email. So Lee needs to craft an email for his customers regarding the recall. So he wants to save time by drafting something quickly while ensuring that his email remains professional. So let's click on a new email here. So afraid he won't cover all the information, Lee's using Outlook to provide his customers an update on the recall. Copilot pulls from other emails or content across Microsoft 365 that the user already has access to. And Copilot will offer suggestions on clarity, sentiment, and tone, and also provide overall message assessment and suggestions for improvement. So Lee can create impactful communication to customers, leveraging coaching tips to hit just the right note. So let's select draft with Copilot. So what do you want the email to say? Okay, so let's put a prompt in here. Explain to customers that there's a recall of the derailleur part DD250. Don't read the whole lot of that draft, but what I will do is I'll click the generation options here, and you can see the way we can set the tone of the email or the length of the email. I don't think we'd want to make it at the bottom, this one. So I'm going to click generate, and this is creating this draft. Okay, and now what I can do is select the scroll bar to go through the email. Am I happy with it? Yes. Okay, we'll keep it. Great, and now I could send that email. So I'm going to go and select drafts, because in here, Lee has a draft to his assistant. And we can see it, Miriam, I'm super frustrated by this situation. I really need you to step up and help us figure this out. We can't afford a big drop in sales. What's your idea? So looks like the pressure is getting to Lee a little bit. So what we're going to do is going to select the Copilot option here and ask for coaching by Copilot to get some recommendations for changes that can help improve the tone or the sentiment and clarity. So as we can see here, it's saying Lee could be a little bit more polite or try adding more empathy. So Lee was able to work through his email messages in minutes, to say not hours, allowing him to be more productive. And he's also able to improve his customer messaging and email design so he could focus on what matters most, which was serving his customers. So I'm going to exit this one and we try Word. So using Copilot in Word, Lee gets his ideas on paper faster by generating first draft in minutes. So let's launch this one. And we're going to select Word. Blank document. Okay, and we're going to select the draft with Copilot here to write a prompt. So we're looking for a press release announcing the delay in recalled parts and ask it to generate. So after creating an initial draft, Lee can make changes to the press release to modify things like formatting and tone. So let's select the generate text box here. And I'm going to say make it formal. This is a press release. Okay, so assuming we're happy, we're going to keep it. So Lee has questions about his press release, but doesn't want to waste time combing through the whole document to find an answer. So we can use Copilot to ensure important details are in place. So let's select the Copilot button here. And we're going to select ask a question about this doc and select generate button. So does the press release mention the recalled part name? So Lee's not sure if he's included it, so let's ask. According to this document, yes, the press release does mention the recalled part. The name, the recall part is in D225 derailer, and there's the reference. So we could have clicked on that to find the location of the document. Great. So I'm going to close this one. So Copilot can also provide information or inspiration on where to go next if you get stuck. So let's just see what Copilot suggests adding to these press release. So we're going to just select the scroll bar here. And select Copilot icon. And we're going to ask Copilot to inspire me to see what it comes. So it's and added all these frequently asked questions, and yes, we're going to keep it. We're going to select the scroll bar to move up and down. Okay, so now Lee needs to hire a new mechanic for his bike shop to repair recalled bikes once the parts come in. So he has a job description in a Word file, and he wants to use that as a reference for a hiring document. He wants to get the hiring doc out right away so we can start vetting. He already has his hands full with the recall and can't spend too much more time prepping a hiring document. So he has the job description ready, but isn't sure how to turn it into a hiring document. So let's just see how Copilot can expand on his existing document to extract the relevant information without having to sort through themselves. So we'll go up and we'll select File, Blank Document, and in the action we'll reference a file, and here it's the job description document. And create a hiring document for my new hire. So it's going to reference that file. So now we just say generate. And we can select the scroll bar here just to go up and down. See, are we happy? And what we can do is then we can customize the message, making changes using Copilot. So he wants the introduction to sound a little warmer to reflect his company's culture. So let's go down here, make the info more casual, and we'll select generate. And are we happy with that? Yes, sounds a little bit better. Let's keep it. Can select the scroll bar again. Okay. So Lee likes the new introduction, but thinks that it could be a little different. So let's select the Copilot button and rewrite with Copilot. And do we like working on bikes? Keep them. Do you want to be part of a great team? Okay, yes, we like that. Let's replace it. So Copilot enables Lee to find the right candidate faster by spending less time searching for information to make his needed documents. So he's a happy man there. Going to exit this one. And we're going to try PowerPoint. Hopefully we can get them all done in the time. So Copilot and PowerPoint, it's a powerful tool. It's excellent at accelerating the creation and editing of professional looking documents. So it isn't just for adding slides or making deck-wide text changes. So it can also bring structure to presentations. So let's launch this one. And we'll select Copilot. So Copilot offers Lee different options he can explore to get started. You know, he can create his presentation from a prompt, a file, or he can leverage enterprise template. So let's just go create a presentation from a file. So Copilot suggests recent files to assist him find the desired file to create the presentation from, such as his onboarding document. So let's go with his bike mechanic onboarding document. So create presentation from that, click send. And Copilot now creates a visually appealing presentation outline, adding slides, covering the onboarding topic Lee outlined in the Word document. So now Lee only needs to worry about getting the message across. While it's great to have the slides in place, he'd like to add a bit more structure to the deck. So what we'll do is we'll select the Copilot text box, organize this presentation, and we'll click send. So Copilot analyzes the content of the presentation and groups slides into newly created sections, as well as adding section title slides. So Lee's feeling great about the presentation, but he wants to add a bit more of the company culture and imagery to the presentation. So not confident in his design skill, Lee needs a little help with his thoughts. So again, we're going to go down. Okay, so he asked Copilot to create a slide with the company motto, which is, "We prepare you for the adventure ahead." And that's done there, as we can see. So to finish the slide, Lee wants to add an image reflecting the company's motto. Select the company to initiate. Oh, actually, I've done that bit already. Okay. Oh, yes, sorry. We wanted to add an image. Add an image of a person riding a mountain bike. To that. So Copilot inserts an outdoor image of a person riding a mountain bike. So Lee has one last detail he'd like to add. He asked Copilot to update the headers in the presentation to be blue, but he's going to use the microphone prompt. So speaking is faster than trying to type. So if I select the microphone icon here, so update all headers in the presentation to be blue, and as you can see, they've all been updated. So Lee's created and edited a powerful professional presentation with all the information that's been gathered in this document. So he had to think less about how to do it and more about providing just the information. So I'm going to exit that one, and now we're going to try Excel. So in this situation, Lee has some product and sales data on a sales performance Excel sheet, and Copilot works best when data is in a table format. So Lee will convert the raw data set to a table in a snap. Okay, so I'm going to launch this demo. And we're going to open Excel. And I'm going to select Copilot here. And in the Copilot, we're going to select Convert. So with the data in a table, Copilot offers a number of options, starting with the 4 core Excel prompt types at the top. So that's add formula columns, highlight, sort and filter, and analyze. Copilot also offers specific suggestions based on the data in the spreadsheet, so Lee can use natural language to ask Copilot to accomplish tasks. He also has prompt starters, so Lee starts with the very simple highlighting. So you just see all these prompts here on the right. So what we're going to do is going to select highlight here. So he needs to understand the impact of this recall as financials. So he's going to take Copilot's suggestion and bold the top 10 quality sold values for the year to date. So select that. So what Copilot's done now is it's applied conditional formatting, a feature that's been around in Excel for a long time, but might be intimidating to people. So let's do a little bit more on that front and ask Copilot with natural language to highlight the top 10% of sellers with yellow. So again, we're in here, we're going to highlight data. Highlight top 10% sold in yellow and click send. So highlighting, again, highlighting is a feature power users might know how to use, but Copilot just makes it accessible to everyone. You know, the bold and yellow are both conditional formatting. And I can actually go up here into conditional formatting. I can click on manage rules and you can see them there. And, you know, a lot of accountants will all know this, but not a lot of others are quite as familiar. So I'm going to click close on that. So Copilot provides Lee access to functions and Excel features he may have overlooked because of the complexity. So he can ask questions in his own words and think faster than before. And let's see how Copilot can help expand the data with a formula. So most of us have a few formulas we know and love, but you know, some of the others may overwhelm us. So I'm going to select the prompt here. And I'm going to say add a formula column. So for total profit by ID, and if we click send, so what's great about this is that Copilot automatically analyzes the data and generates the needed formula and then explains the calculations used. So I can just go here and ask it explain the formula. So it's actually teaching me this as well, that I could maybe do the stuff manually then if I ever needed to. So Lee's final analysis is to identify total profit for each derailer type to identify how the C2250 delay impacts overall profits. So we're going to insert the column. And we're going to click here the Copilot to initiate some typing. What is the total profit based on derailer type? And we're going to click send. And we add this to a new sheet. So Copilot just created a pivot table, one of the more daunting Excel features. And Lee can see that the D2250 part impacts 312,000 profit for a small business. That quickly, Lee used simple language queries to have Copilot create formulas to identify the top product sellers in his company. Then with limited effort, created a pivot table showing the D2250 parts impact on a small business. So he's now decided he definitely needs to hire a new employee to help him through this time. So I'm going to exit that one. And I'm going to try and do in Teams chat now. So I'm going to launch the demo. So Lee wants to summarize any identified tasks, Adele's response about the needed parts, and next steps. So we're going to start this off. So he can invoke Copilot within any team chat. So conversations with Copilot take place in a side panel that allows him to copy and paste. So we're going to open Copilot here. So Lee uses Copilot within any Teams chat to summarize up to 30 days of chat content prior to the last message in a given thread. So Copilot uses only the single chat thread as source content for responses and can't reference other chat or data types, for example, meeting transcripts, emails, and files. So at the bottom of the Copilot, we're going to select highlights from the past day. And we can see there some key takeaways. And what we're going to do then is we're going to ask how's Adele feeling about the repairs. So Adele's, don't know about her feelings, but she mentioned that she believes she has what she needs for the current repairs and comfortable completing the 5 recall-only bikes this week. So what we're going to do is going to select more prompts here. And Lee's going to ask what are the open items based on the chat. We can see responses included clickable citations, directing them to the relevant source content to keep them up to date speed. So we can click these references to go to that. And we can see, yeah, there it is there. I think I've the 5 bikes. Let's go to number 2. Yeah. This may slow production down. So we can go through each of these. I'll work on and let you know if I encounter any issues. And 4 as well. Yes, I need to drop my file in after that. So that's the end of the demo there. So you can just see how quick it is that we can get up to date on chat conversations, you know, historical ones as well. So that one. And the last one I have, which I'll go through quickly because we're nearly at 12 o'clock, it's just about whiteboard. I don't know if people use it as much, but it can be quite useful. So we'll select whiteboard. So Lee opens the supplier sync whiteboard, he say, from a previous call. And what he wants to do is he wants to generate ideas and organize ideas into categories and summarize his whiteboard content. So we're going to select the Copilot. I'm going to ask suggest. So many tasks can generate during a recall, and Lee doesn't know where to start. So all he knows is he needs to manage finances, communications with customers, vendors, and team members, and handle sales and marketing. So hopefully Copilot can help him get started with some suggestions. So he uses natural language to ask Copilot for potential activities and actions to consider. He doesn't have to think about names of whiteboard features or special languages. So what we'll do is we'll suggest content and we'll select the text box to type. And he mentions he needs to recall the bikes because of the affected part. What activities or actions should he plan for? Let's select send. Copilot offers some suggested activities to get him started. And Lee can remove any activity or insert these activities. So he just wants to see, is there more ideas? Generate more. And Lee's going to insert all 12. So Copilot generated a nice table of tasks to complete here, but it just needs formatting for easier reading. So he could spend an hour or more placing these activities into special buckets, but Copilot can provide him a sample more quickly. So let's categorize. And it looks better. So let's keep that. So now he can delve into any activity to identify tasks to complete. So say if we go under product remediation, select a range for repairs or replacements and select suggest. So Copilot is going to offer actions Lee can add to the selected task. So we're going to say select insert test 6. And he can categorize these actions like he did with the tasks. So again, yeah, that looks all very nice. We're going to keep it. So after generate more content and organizing the new content, Lee wants to summarize the call actions into a loop component. So a loop component is a collaborative feature that lets you work with dynamic content, so like tables, tasks, and checklists. So we'll go to Copilot and here, gonna say summarize. So Copilot generates a suggested summary that Lee's team can collaboratively work through direct editing or refinement. So we're happy with that. Yeah, let's keep it. Let's scroll through the summary. Go up or down. Yes. Happy with all that. And then at the end, Lee selects fit to screen to see the entire built out whiteboard. So that easily, Lee has an organized list of tasks, such as notifying customers of delayed recall, arranging for repairs, and assessing the financial impact. So that brings us to the end of the demo, and I think I'm 4 minutes over. I hope you found that very useful, and thank you for joining today.
Brilliant, thanks, Joe. Obviously, if anyone's got any questions, you want to talk to us about tightening up your security, maybe streamlining the endpoint management, or if you're just curious the powers of AI and how it can help your business, please do get in touch with either your account manager or contact us at sayhello@mhance.com. And please do keep an eye on our events page on the website for future webinars and events. Thanks everyone for joining, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.